the game of golf be improved if it was, well, just a little bit quicker? That's the message from the new head of the European Tour, Keith Pelly. He wants to introduce scorecard penalties for golfers that take too long. Like the current Masters and US Open champion Jordan Spieth, who was actually told to hurry up by one of the referees at this year's Open. He was playing with Sergio Garcia, and Garcia played a bit quicker. And once Jordan Spieth had been given the boot up the backside, I think he birdied 3 straight holes. David Leadbetter is a renowned golf coach, and Pam Painter is the co-founder of British Speedgolf, so she knows a thing or two about getting around the course as quickly as possible. David, we'll come to you first. What do you think of the current rules, and does it need a change?
I do, Dan. I do think it needs a change. I think it's been going on for a long time now. There's been talk about fining people, more fines, but really money doesn't really come into it for these players who are so well paid these days. That have a £5,000 fine or a $5,000 fine, whatever the case may be, it really doesn't make much difference. And I think really the penalty will make a serious difference. And the thing I'd like to say is too that there is a certain group of players, and the officials, the players themselves, know who they are. There's a certain group of players who are particularly slow, and what they'll do, they'll speed up when the referee's around, and they'll slow down when they move off. So it's a difficult situation, and I think it really needs addressing.
Because some people, David, think they go as far as say it's cheating.
Well, yes, you could say that. But, on the other hand, there are some extenuating circumstances. Some players are a little bit more deliberate, and you've got to realise, too, golf courses are a lot longer these days. The average golf course that the amateurs play, there's no relation to what the pros are playing, because the distance walking from the green to the tee, they put new tees in to lengthen golf courses. So there are some extenuating circumstances, but overall, play does need to speed up, no question about it.
It's a bit of gamesmanship, I suppose, David, rather than cheating, is it?
Well, it does come into it, probably a little bit more in match play. I remember this year at the Lady Solheim Cup, in fact, play was so slow that they didn't actually finish it on Saturday. They actually had to go to Sunday. This is the sort of problem that they have, especially in match play. And stroke play, I think it's probably not so much gamesmanship, it's just purely down to the individual who is slow.
And I'm dying to know, who are the worst offenders? Can you tell us?
Well, I think that there have been players. I think you can go back even to Bernhard Langer, who's probably one of the slowest players in history. And so, it's difficult, especially if you're a fast player playing with that player, because it puts you out of your rhythm. And it's not a lot of fun either watching the slow play where, remember, in fact, even Sergio Garcia, who you mentioned earlier, for a period of time, he was over the ball for an inordinate amount of time, and he actually had to change his whole routine to speed up.
Yeah, and there's players like Keegan Bradley has got that really long technique, but even spitting on the floor, isn't he, before he hits the ball. And even the great Seve Ballesteros has been penalised for slow play in the past.
Yes, well, Seve probably, there's a little bit of gamesmanship probably involved. Seve, the Ryder Cup.
I think you shouldn't be allowed to spit on the floor anyway, quite frankly. Pam, how quickly can people complete an 18-hole golf course?
Well, our champion in the British Open Speedgolf Championship this year completed 18 holes in just over 34 minutes.
There you go, David. That's how to get it done. 34 minutes for a round of golf.
That's amazing. Obviously, there's a lot of aerobic workout involved with that. But that is incredible. Just shows what can be done.
We should just ask what the score was, though, Pam. What was the scorecard like?
The score was 77, so he shot 8 over par. But let me just say, the person who came second, who was Chris Billions, he only shot 1 over par, and he completed the course time in 55 minutes. And it was actually quite a heady course as well. And most of our championship competitors finished their round in under 80 minutes with an average of just over 60.
To my total shame, I did not know about speed golf until we found out that we were interviewing you today. So I desperately need to know more about it, Pam. Do people quite honestly literally run between tees, or do they get golf carts, or how do they manage it?
Basically, it is a radical solution where shots are combined with the total time to give you a speed golf score.
Oh, right.
So you don't have to run round. You certainly don't have to sprint round between shots. But it is speed golf, so the vast majority of players over here, particularly when they've got a little bit more experience, do jog between shots. And actually, one of the biggest concerns that we we hear from golfers is that golf aptitude will diminish playing at this speed, but actually that's not our experience. In fact, quite the contrary.
Pam, thank you very much. So that's Pam Painter and the legendary golf coach David Leadbetter. And let's not Leadbetter once.